I think morality is good for civil coexistence, but morality alone will not save this society unless we develop an accountability to our Creator, not merely for moral reasoning, but for the recognition that life at its core is sacred.
Recently, we've had some information released about a gentleman by the name of Ravi Zacharias. And unfortunately, that information has not been the greatest. His company approved an investigation to happen which discovered that there was sexual misconduct. Now, if you understand who Ravi Zacharias is, you know that he's a famous Christian apologist who started the company Ravi Zacharias Ministries. Countless people across the world were blessed by some of the information shared by Ravi Zacharias. For some, the results of this investigation are heartbreaking. Ravi Zacharias was a well-known and well-respected pillar of the Christian apologetic community. The scary part is that this is something that we commonly have to deal with or even have seen inside of many of our churches. So how do we deal with someone who is our leader or who is in leadership and is not performing with integrity? This is a scary thing. This is something that frightens people. This is one of the things that causes people to not want to affiliate with church. This is amongst the things that causes people to not want to be bothered with church. Allegations like these and findings like these truly cause people to lose confidence or faith in God. They place so much emphasis on the person. They trust so much in the messenger that they begin to believe that the messenger actually represents God. And while it is true that the messenger is a representative of who God is, the fact remains that at the end of the day, that person should not be seen as perfect. All of us have sinned. All of us have fallen short of the glory of God. None of us get it right on a daily basis. And we have to remember that all of us need to repent. There's no one walking the earth that is not required to repent because we're all sinners saved by grace. You may not get it right every day. Ravi didn't get it right every day. The hope is that in the time that you have, you spend it trying to get right with the Lord. You spend it trying to repent. You spend it trying to make sure with all the energy that you have, you give God everything he deserves from you, which is a repentant heart. You see, God desires that every person on the earth repents of their sin. So even though Ravi Zacharias was wrong for the conduct that he displayed, the truth is that all of us are capable of doing the exact same thing. The truth is that none of us are so high and so mighty that we're incapable of falling. All of us have the possibility of performing the exact same actions and falling into the exact same temptations. We have to make sure that we conduct ourselves with the same integrity that we expect of others. We expect Christian leaders to be above reproach. We expect them to have no flaws, to have no faults. We expect them to be above human. And this is unfair to Christian leaders everywhere. They still deal with the same problems. They still deal with the same issues. They still have pressures that fall upon them that cause them to react a certain way. I'm not justifying anyone's actions. Now, I'm not justifying anyone's actions, but the truth is this. None of us can stand here and say that we've done no wrong. None of us can stand here and say that we've got it all together. None of us can stand here and say that we are the total picture of perfection, because we're not. If we look in the mirror, we're all hiding things from someone else because we don't want someone to find out those secrets that we've never told anyone because we committed them in the dark. So before you point a finger at Ravi Zacharias or anyone else for that matter to say, oh, this is why we can't trust God, or this is why people don't come to church, look at yourself and think about If someone saw you in that deepest, darkest moment that you hide from everyone else, would they still have the same confidence in God that you want them to have? If someone saw you while you were lying or while you were fornicating or while you were doing whatever it was that you were doing that you know you shouldn't have been doing, if someone saw you during that moment, do you think they would still want to get to know God? Would your actions inspire them to draw closer to God, knowing that you're supposed to be a representative of Him? Or would you drive them further and further away? Would your actions inspire them, or would it disgust them? The truth is, we would probably disgust those who saw our faults. This is why we cover them up. This is why we try to hide them, because we don't want anyone to see our flaws. We don't want anyone to know that we're actually not as perfect as we portray on a daily basis. Am I justifying what Ravi did? No. I'm really pointing the finger in the mirror and saying that we all need to take the time to get it together, myself included. None of us are perfect. None of us have it all together. Everyone needs to take the time to get themselves in order. Everyone needs to examine themselves and discover those things which are inconsistent with God and what it is that He's trying to do. All of us need to take the time to examine ourselves and discover those things that need to be removed, those things that are inconsistent with the character that we say we're trying to portray when we call ourselves Christians. While God is not pleased with the conduct of Ravi, He's also not pleased with the conduct of some of us. We have not displayed ourselves to be model Christians or model citizens. However, God still loves us at the end of the day, and He still provides an opportunity. Every moment that you're breathing is an opportunity for you to trust God and for you to correct where you have failed. Every moment that you're breathing is an opportunity for you to take the time to get it right with God. It's an opportunity for you to repent. It's an opportunity for you to say, Lord, I'm sorry. It's an opportunity for you to turn from those things which you love, but that the Lord hates. It's an opportunity for you to walk away from those things which He despises, those things which cause Him to be displeased with the way you conduct yourself. It's time for us to make sure that the lifestyle we're living is one that says that we're going to go to the place that we say we want to end up, which for some of us we claim is heaven. If you claim you want to go to heaven, then you have to conduct yourself as one who is already there. You have to conduct yourself as one who's not going to lie, who's not going to cheat, who's not going to steal. You have to conduct yourself as a person who's going to make sure that godly conduct is what they're always representing. Times like these are the times when we have to truly examine ourselves and dig deep and find those things which don't satisfy God. We have to find those things which separate us from God, those things which are ugly and undesirable by His standard. You see, it's easy for us to judge someone else, but the truth is we need to make sure that we're looking at ourselves and examining the real issue which causes us to fall short. It may hurt some people by what Ravi did. His actions may confuse some people. It's caused harm to countless women. It's caused harm to his own family, reproach to his own name, shame to his family. But the truth is, no one was offended by his actions more than God was. And with that being the fact, we need to understand that all of us have to make sure that we're accountable first to God and then to man. Because the day is going to come when you no longer draw breath. And when that day comes, what will your story be? What legacy will you leave? And what will you be walking into? Will your conduct be such that will earn you, quote unquote, your spot? Because the truth is, none of us can earn heaven. None of us can do enough work to earn our way into heaven. Oftentimes we treat God as if He's not someone we need to worry about satisfying. Oftentimes we treat God as if he's not someone who needs to be satisfied by our conduct. We act as if we're not in a relationship with him. And the truth is that he's the person that we're supposed to spend the most time in a relationship with, through prayer, through reading the Bible, through fasting, just through our general Christian conduct. It should display our relationship. So what do you think? Is your conduct always consistent throughout your life? Or are you living a double life? And if so, what are you going to do to start changing it? Take the time to figure it out so that we're not talking about you the same way we're talking about Ravi, someone who did great things and also terrible things. Until next time.
And here's the scary thing. God did not send us his message to make bad people good. Morality alone will never save us. Sometimes in the name of morality, people have done some horrible things. It is the fact that the heart is in need of redemption, in need of forgiveness, and it is redemption that must precede righteousness.